Welcome to Icelandic Formula Offroad. We're watching the Hella competition. In this episode we will be looking at the final 3 tracks of the first round of the championship. We had a lot of action in the first 3 tracks, so find that show and take a look at it. We had a lot of spectacular driving in the first 3 tracks. Also a great fight between the 2 most successful drivers in the field. Snorri Thor is leading Ólafur Bragi by 50 points going into track number 4. This is gonna be a big show. We're gonna start with the street legal class. Haukur Birgisson here driving a truck called Þeytingur. 4 cars entered track 3. The Wolf Oscar Jonsson had to retire after track number 2. Unfortunately, this is a great way to start in this sport. Not as expensive as the Big Boy League. Longest track of the day, Haukur is coming up to the middle point or halfway. The street legal cars drive slightly different tracks than the unlimited machines, but still every gate counts. You always want to go a little bit further than you did. Driving on a little bit of rock there and then ends up in the sand. That can be really loose. And what does he do? Go up, Haukur. Nope, misses the gate. Where are you going? Oh man. Let's see that. Here we are in the truck with Haukur. Oh, that heavy hit meant that Haukur had to retire. He had a broken front axle and a steering rack. Not maybe what he wanted to go back to the pits in the forklift. Only 2 cars left in the class. Páll Pálsson needs to have a good run here to close the gap to the leader, Steingrímur in Smurf. Broken front differential, 130 points for that attack. Not good enough, and he probably knows it. There we have Páll out of his truck. Steingrímur Bjarnason driving the Smurf was leading with 90-point gap to Páll Pálsson, 4-time champion including the last 2 seasons. Hasn't had much success here in Hella. His last and only win here was 30 years ago. These guys are legends. Know their machines very well. And the final attack. Drives it safe. No need to damage the car. Having seen what Haukur and Páll did. Steingrímur ended up winning the race comfortably. Awesome driving from the champ. There we have him driving in the swamp at Hella, one of the most popular tracks in Icelandic Formula Offroad. And also in Hella we have the skimming, where we drive over a river. Let's take a look at that a little bit later. Steingrímur happy with that win. Street legal, the final standings. Steingrímur won with 1,720 points. Then we have Páll with 1,066. And Haukur and Ólafur follow them in 3rd and 4th place. In the unlimited standings after 3rd track, Snorri is leading with 740 points. Then Ólafur 690, Skúli 680, Jóhann 640, and Ásmundur 630. The second half of Hella Offroad is all about the time attacks. We have Ólafur Bragi on the Fox. In this track, we don't really need it's a different approach to these tracks. Here it is all about speed. Not so much technicality. And they had to do a loop in a steep hill. You don't really see how steep that is on video, but it's pretty steep. They do this very well. They do a fast final meters. 39.78 was his time, 324 points. Geir Grimsson, the sledgehammer. Geir was always super quick in his old sledgehammer. His engine didn't arrive from the US before the race, so he took the crappy V8 out of his motorhome and put it in. And he is giving it all she got. Through the loop. Time is looking good. He's putting a hell of a lot of nitro into this unmodified engine to try to get some power out of it. Let's see if that's gonna give him good results. Sprint. Oh, maybe a little bit too much nitro. The gas blew up through the manifold. There, so Geir had to retire. The new build looks good though. Geir will be a strong contender with a proper engine. We're looking forward to see the sledgehammer at its best when it's finished. Next up, Skúli. He needs to make up for the mistakes in track 3, where he didn't even make it halfway through the course. Needs to be quicker than Ólafur and Snorri, and he knows it. So look at this. Really fast. Yet slower than Ólafur. 42.36 was his time. Now we're gonna be in the truck with Snorri Árnason on the choir boy. Snorri was leading before this track. Rules of the time attack, if we want to go into that a little bit. 350 points for the fastest time. Minus 10 for each second that you are slower. And minus 10 for each marker you touch. So that you can follow the track a little bit better. Here we are through the loop inside the choir boy. That didn't sound right. And the final run. Touch the marker. Wow, that's fast. 37.15, 340 points. Let's look at the overall standings. Snorri still at the top with 1,080 points. Ólafur with 1,014. Skúli coming up third, 978. And then Johan. Track number 5, the river. The most famous track in Formula Offroad. And we had the police there to take their speed as they hit the water. First up, Thunderbolt started well. They have to skim through a smaller portion. They didn't like the water there, and he loses all hope of a top 5 chance. Ásmundur Ingjaldsson on the bomb. Skims okay there for the first part, and then they do a little bit of bank driving, and this is all part of the course, so they need to be quick there. And he's gonna line up for the big part of the river. Let's see how he does. Nicely done. Does a little bit of slide there. And out of the river, 34.19 gives him 302 points. Þórður Atli Guðnason driving the spade. Last momentum right before entering the river. He's going underwater there a little bit. When this truck was called Gutten Reborn, it could fly. But that's totally normal. This is a newcomer and he's gonna learn into the truck. Get used to it. 55.75 comes out as 150 points. Ingvar Jóhannesson driving the Viking. See that? Formula Offroad drifting on water. Maybe at a cost, I don't know. And his front right tire is punctured, but he still hits it. Probably not going to give you good results with a punctured tire. What? Picks it up again. And there he goes down. This is expensive. This is a time attack. So you want to finish as soon as you can. 72.59. But the same score, 150 points. And these 150 points, that's the lowest score you can expect to get. That is if you finish the track. Here we have Yippee! Sigurður Ingi hydroplaning that river nicely. As soon as the truck starts moving, the front suspension starts moving, you're in jeopardy, but he did good. 53.01. Guðmundur, or Gummi as we call him, on the rodeo. Oh, these jumps can be so damn dangerous. But keeps on going. And there he goes. Nice time, 40.13. It's pretty good, considering. Then we have Green Thunder, Daniel G. Ingimundarson. Yep, down he goes. He didn't fly so very well there. The river is deep in some parts, and he only finishes 75% of the course, so that means 75 points, which is not really good enough. We get some serious machines to go and get him out of the river so that we can continue with the race. The hills look empty with no spectators, but the summer is looking good though for Hella Offroad. There we go, the sheep running on the water. A little bit of slide there, but at a cost. And down he goes, but still goes on. Come on, finish! Finish! Up he comes, 44.36. This gives him 201 points. And then we have Skúli, Simba. This truck has always done well in these situations. And the Simba truck was dyno tested before the season. 786 horsepower. So there's something to play with here. Look at that. Flying on top of the water. And at a good speed, Skúli. 31.35. 331 points. And you can see that he's happy with that run. And we have the Fox. Ólafur Bragi. The short part. Lining up for hydroplaning the river in Hella. First competition of the Icelandic Championship. And there he comes. Looking good, looking good, looking good. At good speeds as well. That was a good run. 30.81, 336 points. That we have Snorri on the choir boy. He knows. He knows how to do this. The choir boy was also dyno tested before the season. 915 horsepower. Let's see how he does on the river. Beautiful! Beautiful! And there's the matter of breaking down. 29.42. 350 points for that. 64 miles per hour. New official hydroplaning world record. Ladies and gentlemen, This is entertainment. Give you that from a few angles. So the standings after 5th track. Snorri still at the top, 1,430 points. Ólafur following hard, 1,350 points. Skúli with 1,309, and then the rest of the drivers follow. Drivers now preparing for the final track of the day, the swamp. And they need to swamp protect their trucks. Some of them put on some weird gear. Here we go. We have Sigurður driving Yippee. And it is pronounced Yippee! And this track you can see from Google Maps. Like the Great Wall of China. It's you can see it from space. It's been driven a lot of times. It's a lot of dirt. A lot of cleaning that follows. Come on, dig it out. Keep on going. See all that dirt flying around. And you can be pretty sure that this dirt goes pretty much everywhere. He's pushing it hard, transmission starting to slip there. And that's it for him. 160 points. Later inspection found a flashlight inside the transmission. It's a miracle it didn't fail until the final track. Maybe it's a good thing to have a flashlight in your transmission, I don't know. Then we have Rodeo, driven by Guðmundur Eliasson in the swamp. They look so squeaky clean before the dirt. The river should really be after the swamp to clean the trucks a little bit. And they have to be careful and maneuver through that track. It's gonna cost them dearly if they touch any of the penalty marks or go off course. Here it comes, here it comes. Yeah! Going strong. They are pushing these machines to the limit. Keeps crawling. These tires are amazing in these kind of situations. So, there he put the pressure on Ásmundur in the 4th. Final score, 290 points. Ásmundur, or Uncle Ási as we call him, going for the swamp in his truck he calls the Bomb. Maneuvering through the mud can be challenging. And then he lost his steering. The belt for the steering pump must have dropped off from all the pressure of the mud. So he loses the 4th place to Guðmundur Eliasson. Too bad for Ási. But he's gonna show us, he has something in store for us. I'm pretty sure. Skúli Kristjánsson on Simba. By finishing, he can really put the pressure on Ólafur and Snorri. This is a normal track, not a time attack. So drivers need to be careful not to get too many penalty points, as we talked about. And that can be tricky when you don't see. Simba getting a little bit dirty there in the swamp. Great! And just hear that supercharger whistling. Nicely done. The pressure is on. 290 points, minus 60. Not what Ólafur wanted to see. Now he might be in trouble just to keep his 2nd place. But let's see how he does. Here he comes. On the box, into the mud. He knows what he has to do. He needs to keep it afloat, maneuver through the gates, and finish the track. said, you can see how the track lays. If you just go to Google Maps and look up Hella. Come on, keep going. This is challenging. Rev up, keep it afloat. If they release pedal, they're gonna sink. There's no getting back up. He just doesn't give up. Come on. Look at that. Pedal to the metal. And is he gonna finish? And through the final gate. 350 points for length, minus 20, that gives us 330 points. Now the pressure is on Snorri. He needs to finish 100 penalty points or more, and he loses the lead. A little bit of in-car footage here. You can see how much problems they're having with the mud all over. There's a lot to do in this track. Wire boy, been in this situation before. What's going on? Maneuvering through the track, through the gates. He was in the lead before this. Giving it all he got. Come on, Snorri, come on! Yeah! Oh no, what's going on? There seems to be a problem. No steering! Oh no! It's like trying to turn a big container ship on dry land if you don't have any steering. This is frustrating. He's trying. Hafthor the Mountain couldn't even steer these cars with no power steering. But he's trying. He knows what he needs to do. He's desperate. Backing up. Trying again. Trying to turn a little bit to get the gate, but no luck. Only 120 points for that track. And that can only mean one thing. Snorri is frustrated. Inside the choir boy. This is gonna cost him. He gets robbed of his return win by a car failure. Falls all the way down to third behind Skúli. So there's a lot of drama in the Icelandic Formula Off-Road. A lot more to come. Find us on all the media. So the final standing, Ólafur wins 1,680 points. Then comes Skúli, 1,599 points. Snorri, 1,550 points. That's frustrating. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. We will be back with the second round, which takes place in the challenging hills of Egilsstaðir in July. Until then, bye.
Are you ever gonna push me, baby, and let me do